Welcome to the Borealis video tutorial series. In this video, we'll show you how to create a new dataset in Borealis. We'll see how this simple process will allow you as a researcher at a participating institution to create a dataset, add metadata, upload files, obtain a digital object identifier (DOI), and publish and share your dataset. Let's start with some definitions. Borealis is organized into collections, which are containers for one or more datasets or sub-collections. Each participating institution in Borealis has an institutional collection that may contain other sub-collections and datasets. A dataset is a container for a set of research data, documentation, and code, often relating to a particular study or research output. Before we get started, some functions in this demo may not be available to you depending on your account's permissions. Please refer to your local policies and procedures or check with your local support contacts. The contact button can be found on the top right side of your institutional collection page. Today, we're demonstrating how to deposit on the Borealis demo site at demo.borealisdata.ca. Review our previous video to learn how to create an account and log in. Please note, if you are not affiliated with a participating institution, you will need to be added by an authorized user as a collaborator to a collection or dataset. Otherwise, you will not be able to deposit on the production platform. The demo environment is open to anyone to test. Once logged in, you will be brought to your institutional collection based on your institutional affiliation. You should review the collection's documentation, and you may need to contact the local administrators first before depositing to determine the appropriate workflow for depositing a dataset. When ready, you can click on the Add Data button located on the right side of the institutional collection's main page and select New Dataset. If you cannot see the Add Data button, contact your local administrator. A good first step is to refer to the breadcrumbs at the top of the page and verify that the host dataverse is correct. This is the collection where the dataset will be deposited. Under Dataset Template, you can select a Creative Commons licensed template that will pre-populate the Terms of Use field on the dataset, or you can select the option to create a custom license or Terms of Use. For example, you can select the CC BY 4.0, which means that appropriate credit must be given for data reuse. This license will apply to all of the files in the dataset. The collection may have other types of templates that you may be able to select as well. Under Citation Metadata, enter a descriptive title for the dataset. The author and point of contact fields are pre-populated based on the account that is logged in. This information can be edited as required. You can select an ORCID identifier under Identifier type, which will create a clickable link to your personal ORCID profile. If there is more than one author, you can select the plus button to add a colleague's name and affiliation. Your colleagues can also be added to the dataset as a collaborator in Borealis at a later stage. Continue by entering other required fields, shown with an asterisk, and optional fields about the dataset. In the description field, summarize the purpose, nature, and scope of your dataset. In the subject field, select the appropriate subject from the drop-down menu. Beside the keyword field, enter terms that best describe important aspects of the dataset. You can also list out all the related publications, such as journal articles that reference the dataset, in the Related Publications field. Next, upload files, including data, code, and documentation. In this example, the dataset contains a tabular dataset in SPSS format, accompanying SPSS syntax, documentation, and the survey questionnaire. It's important to upload file documentation such as a README file or codebook, as this will help researchers, journal reviewers, and collaborators to be able to understand and reuse the data. You can add tags to differentiate between the data files, code, and documentation when uploading the files. Click the Save Dataset button. The DOI is now reserved, but will not be activated until the dataset is published. The DOI is displayed as part of the data citation. Once the dataset is saved, you can add more metadata, including disciplinary metadata fields. To do so, click the Edit Dataset drop-down menu and select the Metadata option for adding metadata in the Citation Metadata block, and add relevant metadata fields in the other blocks available: Geospatial, Social Science and Humanities, Astronomy and Astrophysics, and others. When you are ready to publish, click Publish or Submit for Review depending on the curation workflow at your institution. For Submit for Review, the institutional admins will review submissions and work with you to publish datasets in the repository. In either case, a pop-up window will ask to confirm the license for the dataset. Once the dataset is published, you can make further updates and track changes made to either the metadata or files under the Versions tab. To learn more about how you can create a dataset and about other features, refer to the user guide or check out our other video tutorials. We would like to thank our partners, including academic libraries, regional library consortia, research organizations, and the Digital Research Alliance of Canada for their ongoing support.